if there's a drummer, you obviously this is what he's trying to play, and you're trying to like just kind of like compromise, and you guys sort of chat amongst yourselves, and then the band also kind of like follows. I don't know, depends on the style of music, obviously. But when I'm playing by myself, I obviously try and like find, you know, try and listen to the drum groove in the back of your head. It's very groove driven, basically, you know. Trying to play as little as possible, not stepping on anyone's toes. But obviously that does get tricky when you're doing my sorry Marie, and it's like, you know, the same 4 chords or something, and you're like, okay, dun, 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 dun. You know, you try and just get a bit more interesting without overplaying. I think that's the trick, is trying to not be too flashy, but just like, hey, I'm here, and then go back to, you know what I mean? So I think that's basically it. Just staying in the background, but grooving so that people are like, oh man, this is cool. Basically, if you drop out and people are like, something's changed, but they can still sort of feel that groove that you were doing, I think that's a win, if that makes sense. My name is Geraint Bojé. I'm basically a freelance bassist, but I do play for a project called Geraint the Bandits. I started playing drums as a kid in primary school, then I had an epiphany of becoming a musician, and I picked up the bass guitar, because I thought that's like the perfect compromise between groove and melody, you know, so I thought that's quite cool. Actually was influenced by Matt Freeman from Rancid, and then also actually Fuzzy Gish, and then Nick Denny from Desmond and Tutu's. Name dropping, come on guys. So yeah, that was basically what got me into bass. So I went to go study at Copa. I was under Jason Green. By that point I was mainly listening to reggae and funk to give me more like a melodic sort of playing. But apart from that, it's just basically, yeah, like any sort of indie bands, especially because it's very like 80s bass lines and stuff like that, you know, so that's basically what I've been doing since then. I was taught by Geraint Bojé, who, as a jazz musician, is phenomenal. Yeah, I don't know, it's very difficult because a lot of people obviously have their different styles and stuff, you know, but so it's kind of hard to say. I did enjoy playing for a band called The Motherland back in the day, because that was like my own bit of, you know, like, it wasn't just like, oh, we've got a reggae band, can you play something? And you just like, you know, you improvise mainly. With Motherland, it was like, these were my babies, like, this is like the bass line, this is what kind of like, you know, we'd always have Louis on the drums playing like the grooviest thing, and then him and I would sort of like kind of produce the song in the sense of like, it was just us, and then Amber would come over with like this beautiful guitar line, and Sean would sing his pretty lyrics and stuff, you know. So to me, that was mainly like where I was like most, I don't know, you know, like invested. Now I honestly can't say, because it will go from Conway Twitty to Sandora Carmel Falls, you know. So it's literally, it's like so diverse. But I do have an all-time favorite song that like I just generally listen to it for like when I go to sleep, when I brush my teeth, you know, when I'm in the shower. It's Clair de Lune by Debussy, which is, honestly, I think that's one of the most beautiful pieces ever. But yeah, it's not something you can rock out to. So I do generally play with a Fender P-Bass. It's an American special. I don't think they make them anymore. But and then also a Sire Jazz Bass. That's the new Marcus Miller brand, which is it's basically I think it's the 1946 Fender Jazz, but just for a lot cheaper. So that's basically what I use. And then obviously Mark bass amps, because they're the best. Yeah, and then, yeah, that's about it. It's always been one of those fedoras, you know, with the yin and yang, because I want to be Victor Wooten, you know. So yeah, basically one of those.